Continuing the Fixer by Bernard Malmud. And in this scene, there's an exchange between Yaakov Bok and his father-in-law regarding the wife who ran away. So, this is what the father has to say about his daughter, the father-in-law. She ran from one rabbi to another in every town I took her, but nobody could promise her a child. She ran to the doctors too when she had a ruble, but they told her the same thing. It was cheaper with the rabbis, so she ran away. May God protect her. Even a sinner belongs to him. She sinned, but she was desperate. May she run forever, he answers. She was a true wife to you for years. She shared your every misfortune, says the father-in-law. What she caused, she shared. She was the true wife to the last minute, or the last month, or the month before that, and that makes her untrue. A black cholera on her. God forbid, cried Shmuel, rising. On you. Eyes agitated, he thickly cursed the fixer and fled from the house. Yaakov had sold everything but the clothes on his back, which he wore as peasants do, embroidered shirt belted outside his trousers, whose legs were stuffed into wrinkled high boots, and a peasant's worn and patched brown sheep skin coat, which could on occasion smell of sheep. He had kept his tools and a few books. Shpinovsky's Russian grammar, an elementary biology book, selections from Spinoza, and a battered atlas at least 25 years old. He had made a small bundle of the books with a piece of knotted twine. The tools were in a flour sack, tied at the neck, the cross-cut blade protruding. There was also some food in a cone of newspaper. He was leaving behind his few ruined sticks of furniture. A junk man had wanted to be paid to take them, and 2 sets of cracked dishes, also unsellable, that Shmuel could do with whatever he wanted, use, axe, or fire. They were worth nothing. Razel had had 2 sets for her father's sake. For herself, it made not much difference. But in exchange for the horse and wagon, the peddler would get a fairly good cow. He could take over his daughter's little dairy business. It could hardly pay less than peddling. He was the only person Yaakov knew who peddled nothing and sold it in bits and slices for real kopecks. Sometimes he traded nothing for pig bristles, wool, grain, sugar, beets, and then sold the peasants dried fish, soap, kerchiefs, candy in minute quantities. Sorry, the cat is really bothering me. In minute, oh God, it's really too much. That was his talent, and on it he miraculously lived. Stop it, Samuel, stop it. Is it a coincidence that there's a character called Shmuel in the book and Samuel be cat? Samuel be cat. Stop it. Oh, it's really too much. Sorry. Where were we? Yeah. That was his talent. And on it, he miraculously lived. Stop biting my feet. Look at this cat. It's just... Stop it. Shmuel, stop it. Shmuel. Okay. Let's see. Miraculously lived. He who gave us teeth will give us bread. Yet his breath smelled of nothing, not bread, not anything. Yaakov in loose clothes and peaked cap was an elongated, nervous man with large ears, stained hard hands, a broad back and tormented face, lightened a bit by gray eyes and brownish hair. His nose was sometimes Jewish, sometimes not. He had, to no one's surprise, after Razel ran away, shaved off his short beard of reddish cast. Cut off your beard and you no longer resemble your creator, Shmuel had warned. Since then, he had been admonished by more than one Jew that he looked like a goy, but it had caused him neither to mourn nor rejoice. A goy is a non-Jew. He looked young, but felt old, and for that he blamed nobody, not even his wife. He blamed fate and spared himself. His nervousness showed in his movements. Generally, he moved faster than he had to, considering how little there was to do. But he was always doing something. After all, he was a fixer and had to keep his hands busy. Dumping his things into the open wagon, a rusty water bucket hanging under it between the back wheels, he was displeased with the appearance of the nag, a naked-looking animal with spindly legs, a brown bony body, and large stupid eyes, who got along very well with Shmuel. They asked little from each other and lived in peace. The horse did mostly as he pleased, and Shmuel indulged him. After all, what difference did a short delay make in a mad world? Tomorrow would be no richer. The fixer was irritated with himself for acquiring this decrepit beast, but had thought better a lopsided exchange with Shmuel than getting nothing for the cow from a peasant who coveted her. Her father-in-law's blood was thicker than water. Although there was no railroad station anywhere around, and the coachman came for travelers only every second week, Yaakov could have got to Kiev without taking over the horse and wagon. Shmuel had offered to drive him the 30 or so versts, but the fixer preferred to be rid of him and travel alone. He figured that once he got into the city, he could sell the beast and apology for dray, if not to a butcher, then at least to a junk dealer for a few rubles. Dvoira, the dark-uddered cow, was out in the field behind the hut, browsing under a leafless poplar tree, and Yaakov went out to her. The white cow raised her head and watched him approach. The fixer petted her lean flank. "Goodbye, Dvoira," he said, "and lots of luck. Give what you got left to Shmuel, also a poor man." He wanted to say more, but couldn't. Tearing up some limp, yellowing grass, he fed it to the cow, then returned to the horse and wagon. Shmuel had reappeared. Why does he act as though he were the one who had deserted me? "I didn't come back to fight with anybody," Shmuel said. "What she did, I won't defend. She hurt me as much as she did you, even more. Though, when the rabbi says she's now dead, my voice agrees, but not my heart."